Good morning, greetings friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 29 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program or help a loved one or friend or family member or workmate get off their meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you. 844-236-6010 is our number today and every day on The Bright Side, 844-236-6010. If you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you just want to contribute to our conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have questions about skincare or ingredients or formulations, we can help you. 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you heard about on the program or you heard advertised on the program or recommended, call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, or you can head over to brightsideben.com or pharmacistben.com or criticalhealthnews.com, and you can sign up. You can purchase products right off the website, or you can sign up to join the Brightside Ben team right off the website or by calling the phone team at 866-735-2470. If you're interested in purchasing any of our enzyme products or the Bergamax capsules, or our Evolve weight loss products, you can go to brightsidehealthproducts.com. We talked to Viktoras Kalvinskas yesterday about enzymes and enzyme deficiency, and as I've been saying now for at least a couple of months, enzyme deficiency may be one of the hidden causes of our disease-ridden culture. Most of us are subsisting on enzymeless food, i.e. dead food. Enzymes equal life. That's basically it, folks. Enzymes equal life. And because health is related to the life force, enzymes and health go hand in hand. By eating processed foods, cooked foods, basically we're killing ourselves by eating enzymeless food. So enzyme supplementation can be a powerful nutritional strategy. They're not the mighty 90 essential nutrients, of course, but they're still important, and you can find out all about the enzyme products and purchase any of the enzyme products that we heard about yesterday at brightsidehealthproducts.com, brightsidehealthproducts.com. Okay, we are talking hyperpigmentation and the stress response. Stress response obviously is very important, but long-term chronic stress response, that's the leading cause of health misery. And in the case of the skin, it's a leading cause of skin problems, from everything from rosacea to acne to eczema to psoriasis and to hyperpigmentation. The stress response is controlled by hormones. And we're going to talk about hormones here probably in the next couple days. We'll get to talking about hormones because they are absolutely stunningly important, along with enzymes, probably the most important molecules in the body. The hormones and enzymes are the two most important chemicals in the body, along with perhaps micronutrients. But as far as things that the body makes, it's the hormones and the enzymes. Those are the two most important chemicals that the body makes. So we'll talk about hormones here in a little bit, but for now understand that the stress response is controlled by, it's turned on and off by hormones, which basically act like a switch that initiates activity in the cells of the adrenal glands. When we talk about the adrenal gland, we're talking about the cells of the adrenal gland. These cells respond to hormones, and the stress response turns on. Stress response includes shutting down our defense system. Immune suppression is part of the stress response. This is why the boneheaded medical model will actually give you stress chemicals to shut down your immune system. Now, who out there thinks that's an intelligent idea? To give you stress chemicals, as if we don't have enough stress chemicals. They'll actually give you drugs that initiate a stress response to quiet down your immune system. Can anybody say stupidity? That's what that is. Stupidity. Prednisone is your classic example. Do you need prednisone or suppression of the immune system occasionally? Perhaps, but certainly not for long term. And an intelligent medical professional, if they're out there, will actually try to figure out what's causing the stress response rather than initiating it pharmacologically. So anyway, prednisone, cortisol, stress chemicals, stress hormones will shut down your immune system. They'll suppress your digestive system. They'll redirect blood flow from the extremities to the core of the body. That causes high blood pressure. Stress chemicals will also redirect blood flow from the intelligent part of your brain, the intellectual part of your brain, the human part of your brain, to the reptilian brain, the Donald Trump brain, the part of the brain that's in fear, the part of the brain that doesn't think creatively but thinks fearfully. Excuse me to Donald Trump. I apologize. Fear is about the stress response. Anger is about the stress response. Anxiety is about the stress response. Insomnia is about the stress response. All mental health problems, or most anyway, including depression, is about the stress response, which is regulated by hormones in the adrenal gland. Major stress hormones are cortisol, adrenaline, estrogen, perhaps serotonin, even though that's more like an alertness or an awareness hormone, but stress will upregulate serotonin. And the most little-known stress hormone, the one you never hear about unless you listen to the bright side, and that's aldosterone. Aldosterone equals stress, equals minerals. Aldosterone is a mineral and salt hormone. It causes the release of minerals from cells into the blood. Minerals drag along water, and as the minerals are released into the blood and the water is pulled along with it, the volume of the blood increases, and that causes the pressure to rise. Think of a garden hose. The more water that's in the garden hose, the more pressure is going to be applied to the walls of the garden hose. That's high blood pressure. There's pressure that's applied to the walls of the vasculature of the circulatory system of the blood vessels as minerals go into the blood and water gets pulled along with it. This is how the body raises pressure. It is super cool. It's an amazing system when you think about it. We're under stress. Aldosterone levels go up. Aldosterone causes minerals to leak out of cells and go into the blood. The water gets pulled along with it and the pressure increases. Aldosterone is ridiculously powerful stuff. And it just takes a little tiny bit to raise your blood pressure significantly. You're never going to see aldosterone used as a drug. You'll see cortisol used as a drug. You'll see adrenaline, or mimics anyway, imitators, agonists they call them. You'll see cortisol agonists, cortisol imitators used as drugs, prednisone classic example. You'll see estrogen imitators used as drugs. You'll see adrenaline imitators used as drugs, but you'll never see aldosterone used as a drug because it's so darn powerful. Blocking the effects, on the other hand, blocking aldosterone, that's a common drug strategy, and that's what so-called ACE inhibitor drugs are. If you ever heard of Zestril and Prinavil and Cozar and Losartan, these are ACE inhibitor drugs that work by suppressing aldosterone, shutting down the stress response. Oh, why is it that shutting down the stress response is the major medical pharmacological strategy for lowering hypertension? Let me think about that. Because stress equals hypertension. Hypertension equals stress. Again, the primacy of the stress response when it comes to degenerative disease. Why is this important? Because who controls our stress response? For the most part anyway, we do. Through food, through sugar, through breathing or lack thereof, through emotional, psychological, mental stresses. These are all ways we control the stress response. Hypertension affects 80 million people, and doctors call it idiopathic or essential for the most part, meaning they have no idea what causes it. They're mystified. The medical model has no idea what causes hypertension. Send your hypertension doctor, or whoever's treating you, to the bright side, to brightsideben.com. Have him listen to this archive. Maybe he'll understand the body a little bit better. Maybe he'll understand hypertension a little bit better. And he'll tell you to breathe. and stay away from sugar and relax your body instead of giving you a poison, deadly antihypertensive medication. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Thanks for joining us. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have a couple lines open for you. We'll get your calls here in just a moment. If you're interested in purchasing any of our enzyme products, go to brightsidehealthproducts.com, brightsidehealthproducts.com. Also have a interesting weight loss product up there that I haven't talked about called Evolve. It's not only a weight loss product, it's an energy product. I've been using it now for almost a year. And I'll tell you what, if I put something on Brightside Health Products, you can bet your bottom dollar it's something I stand behind. And it's something that you can use and something that you need. Digestive enzymes, systemic enzymes, energy from the Evolve products, as well as the Bergamax capsules made from bergamot extract. And you can Google bergamot extract or Bergamax and get some great information for high blood pressure, for sun protection, for erectile dysfunction, for metabolic syndrome. When I first read about all the benefits and all the research behind bergamot, I was like, I got to put that stuff on the website. As you know, if you've listened to this program, we've talked to Dr. James Ehrlich multiple times. BrightsideHealthProducts.com. BrightsideHealthProducts.com. Okay, we're talking aldosterone, minerals. Aldosterone is actually called a mineral corticoid. That's the official name of it. Mineral corticoid. Why? Because it's made in the part of the adrenal glands called the cortex, corticoid. Cortisol is as well. And it's a mineral substance. It moves minerals around, specifically into the blood. This is where high blood pressure comes from, and this is where mineral deficiencies come from, or at least partially where mineral deficiencies come from. Aldosterone is released in response to stress. Electrolytes, potassium and sodium and calcium and magnesium and chloride, are then shunted into the blood. Blood pressure goes up. Remember, minerals and electrolytes pull water with them. The pressure goes up. Then the electrolytes are excreted through the kidneys, and guess what? Then we become electrolyte deficient. And in this way, high blood pressure, stress leads to high blood pressure, which leads to mineral deficiencies, salt loss. And this, by the way, is the cause of salt cravings. Why do you think it is we crave salt so much? We're deficient, mostly because we're under so much stress. And this is also why, if you have hypertension, if you have manifestations of the stress response, including hypertension, it's important to make sure you're getting enough salt, getting enough minerals, as opposed to what you hear from the doctor nonsense dogma about a low-salt diet. You can't go low salt because it's a fundamental need, and you're going to find salt anyway. How do you know you need salt? Because you're craving it. Put some Celtic sea salt in water. Drink a couple of sips. If it tastes delicious, you needed it. After a couple more sips, it's going to taste less delicious, and guess what? You'll need it less. You're needing it less. That's called being your own doctor. That's called firing your MD, or at least it allows you to fire your MD. When we understand all of this, I will be irrelevant. Pharmacist Ben will be irrelevant. The bright side will be irrelevant. Once we get the simplicity of how easy it is to be healthy, not because we're smart, but because the body's meant to be healthy. Proof of it is that we're here. We wouldn't have survived 2 million years. We would have been different. We would have evolved differently. We're here. The fact that we're here is testimony to the fact that the body heals itself. It repairs itself. It knows how to doctor itself. When we finally understand this, the simplicity of getting healthy and staying healthy, you're not going to need a pharmacist. You're not going to need Pharmacist Ben. You're not going to need the bright side. You're not going to need your doctor. There's going to be a lot of unemployed specialists out there, a lot of unemployed doctors. They'll have to drive taxis and do something for real, really produce in our culture. And I'm saying me too. I'll be irrelevant also. The job of a good health professional, in my opinion, is to make himself irrelevant. As far as the skin goes, if you're dealing with hyperpigmentation or hypertension, or any other manifestation of the stress response, which is to say all chronic degenerative disease, which is to say 80% of our health miseries, if you're dealing with any of it, you're going to benefit from electrolyte drinks. You're going to benefit from salt water. You're going to benefit from the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. In fact, this is where the Beyond Tangy Tangerine really shines. This is where Beyond Tangy Tangerine is such an amazing, amazing health product. It's an electrolyte drink, and it's packed with electrolytes. This was Dr. Wallach's really brilliant insight, is that electrolytes in water can help address almost every single health challenge you're dealing with. Electrolytes are basically salts, and replacing these things is amazingly important, especially if you're under chronic long-term stress, if you're craving salt, if you're adrenally fatigued, if you're just burnt out. Celtic sea salt and water, or Himalayan salt and water, or the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, or all three. Vegetables are also a stupendously important source of electrolyte minerals. Vegetables are living entities, at least they were, hopefully, shortly before we ingest them, and the life force is carried by these electrolytes. Veggie juice can be super helpful, and if done correctly, drinking veggie juice is a pretty close to instant way of raising your electrolyte levels and getting your adrenal glands its precious calcium, precious magnesium, sodium, and potassium, and chloride. It's precious salts. It's precious electrolytes. Get a Vitamix or a NutriBullet because you'll get the fiber. Grind up your celery, put some water and salt in there, spin it up in the vortex, drink it down. You will not believe how it's just unbelievably satisfying. It's crazy how satisfying vegetable water or vegetable juice can be with some salt and spun around in a vortex. Try dropping a chunk of cucumber and some celery in a blender. I like mixing cucumber with celery. Celery can be a little bit bitter. That's one of the reasons why people stay away from these vegetables. They have a little bitter off taste. The bitter is the medicine, called alkaloids. Celery can be a little bit bitter, but the cucumber can sweeten up the celery, can take the edge off the celery. So I always drop half a cucumber or so in with maybe 6 or 7 stalks of celery and some salt and some water, and it's like a homemade electrolyte beverage. It's so delicious, so filling, so satisfying. The veggies are loaded with these electrolyte salts, plus you get vitamins, especially the B vitamins, as a bonus. You get the electrolytes and the B vitamins as a bonus. The B vitamins help you handle sugar. They're your brain vitamins. They're your building vitamins. They're your detox vitamins. And again, like with the electrolytes, we tend to lose these Bs as we urinate. And so most of us are electrolyte deficient and B vitamin deficient. And just dropping some celery and cucumber in some water is a great way to replace these nutrients. In addition to making sure that you're drinking salt water, in addition to making sure that you're getting your Beyond Tangy Tangerine, sipping on your Beyond Tangy Tangerine throughout the day. The vortex is really important. You know how if you made a veggie juice, you may have noticed how when you first have the veggie juice, that the veggie juice looks like one uniform drink, but over time, the veggie juice starts to separate. And you'll notice that solid material sinks to the bottom and watery material is up on the top. So your juice will form 2 layers, a solid material on the bottom and a liquid layer on the top. As this is occurring, the energy from the vortex and from the vegetables is starting to disperse into the atmosphere. The fact that when you blend your vegetable up for a few seconds or a minute or so, it's all together, that's the electrical energy that's holding, magnetic energy that's holding everything together. And when you drink it real quick, or over the course of a few minutes, you're drinking that magnetic and electrical energy. If you leave it sitting on your counter, that electrical and magnetic energy will disperse into the environment, and your drink will be less electrical. It'll still be valuable, but it'll be less electrical. That's why you want to drink your veggie juices fresh. And the electrical energy, by the way, is what makes these drinks so satisfying without calories. You'll be energized without feeling that heavy weight that you get from eating a heavy meal, because you're not getting any calories. You're just getting electrical energy. And because these things are so easy to process in the body, you won't have to deal with the sleepiness that typically follows meals. If you're fasting, these kinds of drinks can be super, super helpful. Okay, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're coming back with your phone calls after this. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. If you're interested in purchasing any of the longevity products you hear advertised or recommended on the program, please call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470 or head over to brightsideben.com, criticalhealthnews.com, or pharmacistben.com. Those are my blogs. We update those regularly. And you can also order products directly off the website or by calling the phone team at 866-735-2470. If you're interested in purchasing any of my Truth Treatment products, go to truthtreatments.com. And if you'd like to purchase any of our systemic enzymes or our gluten enzymes, yesterday we talked to Victoris Kalvinskas about using enzymes for gluten intolerance, and it turns out that there are enzymes that can help you process gluten. How do you like that? Not that gluten is a good thing, but if you really absolutely positively have to eat your your bread and your pasta and whatever gluten-containing foods you like, get yourself on gluten enzymes. You could find out gluten-digesting enzymes. You could find out all about that at brightsidehealthproducts.com, brightsidehealthproducts.com. All right, our number today, 844-236-6010. Time to hit our phones. Let's take our first phone call here. Marlene in Missouri, what's going on? Welcome to the Bright Side.
Hi, Pharmacist Ben.
Hey.
I talked to you last week from Minnesota, where I
Okay.
live, but I'm now down with my daughter in Kansas City.
Okay.
And she did what you said. She's been fasting. This is the third day of fasting.
Completely?
And she's just so weak, and now nausea.
Okay, good. So here's what you need to. What's she doing? Is she working, or is she go to work every day? What is she doing
No.
while she's just laying down in bed?
Today she's just laying down. She's so weak today. She's just laying down.
Perfect. Just have her lay down, relax, take care of her. That's perfect because she doesn't have anything coming into her system. You may want to get her a little bit of celery juice. Okay. Or maybe some cucumber juice, something very bland and very easy to digest, nothing that's going to interfere with the colitis. Now, after 3 days, she had ulcerative colitis. Was that, or Crohn's? I forgot what you told me.
Ulcerative
colitis.
Right.
Okay, good. So here's what you need to do. 3 days is plenty for a fast. Have her start with a little bit of celery juice or cucumber juice just to get her energy, up. And guess what she's going to get to do now? She's going to love this, okay? Pick her favorite food, and spend all day eating it. How do you like that? What a treat.
Okay.
And what's going to happen is she's going to find that her symptoms are going to come back. Her colitis symptoms are going to come back, more than likely.
Never left.
Oh, she still has them. She still has diarrhea?
Exactly. She's got diarrhea and blood.
Oh, she's got diarrhea and blood? Get her some of that. Get her some of this. Keep her on the celery juice. What else is she doing? She may have an infection, or she may have something going on in there.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if there isn't something else, because she's so nauseous. I made chicken broth and beef broth. It just makes her
tolerate them.
And the BTT seems to make her.
Yeah, there might be something going on there. How long has she had the colitis, or the ulcerative colitis? Years?
Yeah, years.
Yeah, she may have something percolating in there. Is she using any fermented foods or probiotics or anything?
Well, she's on bioessence.
Okay.
And then we've had her on Z-Radical. She's able to tolerate that.
Okay.
You told me to get the zinc picolinate.
Hang off on the zinc. That could be a little bit heavy. This is what I would do if I were you, okay? This is just me. This is my opinion. All right? Celery juice and cucumber juice. If you can get her some Swear V, that might help too. You know what that is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, get her on a little Swear V. That's Jordan Rubin's product. Jordan Rubin used it to cure himself of ulcerative colitis, and I've been using it now for probably almost a year. That'll give her a little bit of energy, plus it's fermented, plus it has some of the electrolytes in there. If she can continue her fast, that would be great with just the Swear V and the celery juice. If you're going to give her solid food, or actually it's a good idea not to give her solid food, can she sip on the chicken soup?
It just makes her nauseated, and then she vomits again.
Everything makes her nauseated and vomits. Everything she puts in her system.
Mainly it's the BTT that makes her throw up, but she's so nauseated, just the smell of the chicken soup makes her feel nauseated. The only thing that made her throw up was the BTT.
That's too intense. Okay, she may have some wounding in there. There may be some, especially if she's passing blood. There may be some wounding after. Has it been years that she's had this condition?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. It's her. How old is she, by the way?
She's 52.
Oh my goodness. So she's probably got some serious stuff going on there. If she's had this for a long time, she's probably tremendously malnourished. The less you put in her digestive system, the better off she's going to be at this point. Okay, until everything heals up, you got to. The chicken soup is going to be very helpful for her, but you want to do it diluted, tremendously diluted. Everything she puts in, you know what I'm saying? Everything she puts in her system has to be diluted. And what's going to end up happening is she's going to pass out water instead of stool. She'll have water. You follow me?
All right.
And that's going to clear everything out. And there will be some benefit from the chicken soup, even if it's diluted, because some of that protein is still going to be in there, and some of those healing sugars will be in there as well. Polysaccharides will be in there as well. The less she puts in her system at this point, solid food-wise, the better off she's going to be. Give her system a chance to heal. The only issue is she's going to be tired because she's malnourished. Just keep her, not to do anything. She doesn't have to go to work, hopefully. She can just kind of relax.
have a 9 and 10-year-old. So,
can you help? That's
we're down here helping, but
look. She didn't get into this mess overnight, so it's going to be a while for the body to heal. But the less work this is the logic, okay? The less work her digestive system has to do, the more resources it will have available. The body will have available to heal. Now, if there is some kind of infection, which I don't think there would be, but if there is, that needs to be taken care of medically. This is the one time you need medical intervention is when you have infection.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not sure that it's there because she would have a fever or some other symptomology. It sounds to me like she's just dealing with malnourishment. She does need to put something in her system at this point, and I would be doing it very dilute. I understand what she's saying about the smell. Any kind of strong smells from food is going to trigger nausea, initiate a feeling of nausea. So dilute it as much as you can. Okay, but get her some of the protein in the chicken, and the sugars from the chicken soup will be very healing, as well as the probiotics. And you're just going to have to in my opinion anyway, you're just going to have to stay the course on this until she starts to heal up. If it does get worse, then she may have some kind of infection that needs to be addressed. Is she?
Now,
yeah.
Now, how much probiotics a day? How many?
100 billion units a day. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, 100 billion.
And Z-radical, should we continue with that?
Absolutely, if she can do it.
She was holding down.
Good.
So
you're talking about Fucoid Z or Z-radical?
Z-radical.
Okay, yeah. Give her a couple capfuls a day.
Okay, 2 caps a day.
Yeah, and stay in touch with me, too. And why don't you shoot me an email? Let me help you personally, okay? Because I can't really give you as much advice here on the radio. So will you send me an email? Yeah, put your phone number in there. I'll get back to you today. Make sure you say Marlene there, though, so I know it's you.
I'm sorry. How do I email you?
Ben, B-E-N, at K for King, S for Sam, C for Cat, O for Oscar.com. Make sure you put on there Marlene and put your phone number.
Thank you very much.
All right. God bless you. Good luck with everything. We'll talk soon. Okay. Joy in Missouri. What's up, Joy? How you doing?
Good morning. Hey, your last caller is also somebody who's dealing with something kind of similar to what I was dealing with the last few weeks for a family member. And my initial question was going to be about turmeric, curcumin, and how to enhance.
Joy, you're cutting out, Joy. I'm only hearing I'm only hearing you partially. So call back, get me off speakerphone, and I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to take a commercial break. I'll get you first up, okay? Thanks, Joy. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back on the bright side right after this. All right, we're back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben, talking to Joy in Missouri. What's going on, Joy?
Hi, Pharmacist Ben.
Oh, much better.
I was just listening today for my first time.
Oh, good.
And my main question is I'm hearing a lot about turmeric or curcumin and using black pepper to sort of supercharge its effects. I don't like black pepper because it's a spice that can irritate the
Who told you about
tract.
It's true that it can be irritating, but there's an active ingredient in black pepper called piperine, I believe, and that helps the absorption of the turmeric. It's not the black pepper itself; it's the active ingredient in the black pepper that increases the absorption of substances. Okay. Is that what you're talking about?
I believe so.
Let me hang on just a second. Hey, Trevor, will you pick up the phone? I'm just talking to my producer here. Trevor, pick up that phone, will you, buddy? All right, go ahead, Joy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joy.
Things that could be used, such as maybe cayenne or some other form of a pepper that, like jalapeno, habanero, any of those that could be used that would have the same ingredient. Do you know?
Say that one more time. You're looking for something that will improve the penetration of the turmeric without having to deal with black pepper?
Correct. You've got it.
I see what you're saying. You know, that's funny. It's funny you would mention that. If you go to Brightside Health Products, any of the digestive, any of the enzyme products there are made with a very interesting ingredient that improves the penetration of actives. So you might want to try probably the Astra Ease. That's what I'd recommend is the Astra Ease. That'll upregulate or improve penetration of active ingredients if you can't deal with the black pepper. There's a product called Bioperin. If you could find Bioperin, Bioperine, Bioperin, you have to Google that. And that contains the piperine, which is the active ingredient in the black pepper if you don't want to deal with the black pepper. How'd you know about black pepper? That's kind of cool, Joy.
Well, Well, I listen to various shows, and I've been studying nutrition on my own since I was about 15 or 16. And
good deal.
I've listened to different wellness experts, Dr. Thrash and others who have mentioned not to use black if you can help it. But that's just me, and I know I don't like it. And
you don't like black pepper at all?
Not really. I prefer not to use it. I don't use it for seasoning typically. And
interesting. Well, your point is well taken, and for the listeners, Joy is right on. Black pepper will increase the penetration of other active ingredients if you use it, but it can be a little bit irritating. It is a pepper, and it can be irritating to the stomach. Get the Astra Ease off BrightSideHealthProducts.com.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, Joy. God bless.
Taking my call.
Good luck. Have a beautiful day. All right. Brad in Georgia. What's going on, Brad? How you doing?
Hey, bud. How are you?
Doing great. What's cooking?
Man, I'm a professional cyclist pretty much.
Okay.
And I compete at a high level, and I've got Hashimoto's. And I've had it for a few years, or diagnosed with it for a few years. But
you're still doing the bike racing, even with Hashimoto's. Awesome, man.
Well, I mean, I guess in the big picture, it's not that big of a deal, but this is just such an endocrine operator.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to fine tune it. And
here's what you do. Here's what. Forget Synthroid. Here's what you do. Hashimoto's, and this is the problem with Synthroid and the doctor medical strategy for dealing with thyroid problems.
It's an autoimmune, correct?
Correct. You have a gland problem, not a hormone problem, primarily.
And
the hormone. Let me just finish my. Say again. Say that again.
The TSH and the T4 is what.
Forget those. Those are medical gibberish and naturopath gibberish too, by the way, and chiropractor gibberish. This is where naturopaths and chiropractors start to go into gibberish when they start doing the TSH and the TH and the T4 and the T3 and the different kinds of tests and the reverse thyroid, blah 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 blah. You don't need any of this. And this is my beef with naturopaths and chiropractors. They think they try to do the medical thing with testing. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease. Okay, Brad? You with me? It's when the body attacks the thyroid. Are the hormones going to be involved? Well, yeah, of course, because the thyroid is being attacked, but it's not a hormone problem. It's a gland problem. So if you take the Synthroid, you still have the gland problem. You follow me? You haven't corrected the issue. And by the way, Synthroid is notorious for being highly ineffective and having to have your dose changed every time you go to the doctor.
And that's what I've been dealing with.
Everybody does, Brad, because you have a thyroid problem, not a hormone problem. You have a gland problem. So Hashimoto's is when the body attacks the thyroid. So you say, well, what's gives? Why would the body attack the thyroid? What happens when you have any autoimmune disease is immune stimulating factors are in the blood. The immune system is intelligent, so when it attacks these various factors in the blood, other components of the body that are similar to those factors get attacked too. You know, here's the thing, Brad. We're hamburger, we're steak, we're meat. From a molecular perspective, from a molecule perspective, the same molecules that are in food are in your thyroid. And when the body learns to attack those molecules that are getting into the blood inappropriately, they look like the molecules in the thyroid or any other gland. An autoimmune disease is nothing more than the body attacking itself because it's trying to get rid of something in the blood. Now, how do things get into the blood? There's not a lot of ways, Brad. All right? Are you an IV drug user? Are you in the back alley shooting up crack? No. Okay? Probably not, right? So how else can things get into the blood? I'll give you a clue. It starts with an F. Food. So, Brad, you sound like a smart guy. You're are you in your 30s or 40s?
Yeah, I'm 37.
Okay. So here's the deal, bro. You have to know that you have a digestive condition that you've had for a while. Autoimmunity is the end result of long-term digestive distress. It's a sign that things are getting into the blood through a leaky gut, through the digestive system. Is this sounding familiar? Have you heard of leaky gut syndrome and that kind of thing?
I mean, I've heard of a lot of that stuff,
okay.
But I wouldn't consider myself having a lot of issues as far as.
Well, you have to. If you have Hashimoto's, the thyroid regulates the digestive system. So if you have a thyroid problem, you're going to have a digestive problem because the thyroid regulates the digestive system. What's more, thyroid hormone is activated in the digestive system. So on top of the thyroid regulating the digestive system and suppressing digestion, you're not going to be able to activate thyroid hormone. So now you've got a digestive problem. You're not activating thyroid hormone because the thyroid is now suppressed. It's going to cause more digestive problems, which is going to cause more problems activating thyroid hormone, which is going to cause more thyroid problems, and you get this vicious downward spiral. How do you cut the spiral? You check your foods. You look to digestive symptomology, most especially constipation with hypothyroidism. Okay?
Okay.
So you look for foods that are causing constipation, digestive problems, bloating, heartburn, gas, nausea, sense of fullness. Any kind of digestive issues need to be linked to foods. All right? The best thing to do is a food diary, if you can, or fasting, and then reinitiating your intake of food, starting with your favorite foods. Is this making sense, Brad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The next thing to do, let me just say a couple more things. The next thing to do, because it's good bacteria in the gut that activate thyroid hormone, make sure you're eating fermented food and getting on a good probiotic supplement. Make sure you're using apple cider vinegar after all your meals and digestive enzymes after all your meals. The Ultimate Enzymes are a great digestive enzyme product. You can find that off criticalhealthnews.com or pharmacistben.com. Now go ahead, Brad. Okay. What were you saying?
Well, one of the reasons I was calling is because I've been doing a lot of research on trying to get this, and I've read numerous times synthroid, levothyroxine is notoriously ineffective, and that's what I'm going through. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, what about like an iodine supplementation?
No, Brad, listen. You're trying to treat the hormone. You don't have a hormone problem. You've got a gland problem. Do you see the distinction I'm making between the gland and the hormone?
Right.
All the iodine in the world isn't going to help you if you have a gland problem. And synthroid isn't going to help you if you have a gland problem. The problem is not in the hormone, it's in the gland. So you have to treat the gland with love. How do you do that? You stop the body from attacking the gland, and the attack, autoimmunity, equals digestive problem. This is why the medical model is so flummoxed when it comes to dealing with these things, because it doesn't understand that the bulk of your immune system is located in the digestive tract, which makes sense because this is where the enemy gets into the body. And food represents an enemy. It has to be vetted. It has to be cleared. It has to be processed. If you have holes that are developing in the gut, so-called leaky gut, and stuff is leaking into the blood, an immune response will be initiated in the blood, and from there, it's a short jump to an autoimmune disease. All right?
And selenium falls in that as well, correct?
So all of it. Not that they're not important, though, Brad. They're definitely important, but they're not a remedy. They're not a magical treatment for a thyroid issue. All right? So for the thyroid or for any autoimmune disease, and most thyroid issues are autoimmune, any autoimmune issue needs to be recognized as a digestive problem, particularly processing protein, which means protease enzymes are your best friend if you have an autoimmune problem. Let me say that again, you guys. This is so important. Protease enzymes are your best nutritional friend if you have an autoimmune problem, in addition to all the digestive strategies we talk about on this program all the time. Listen, I'm sorry I left you on hold. I'll be doing the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program today. If we left you on hold, call the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. Tell them we left you on hold on the bright side, and I'll get you first up. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome, spectacular, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.